So this is something I want to share with you viewers, my subscribers, or people that follow me on my YouTube channel. So I want you to learn from this. So I recall that I got 505 AC added to my classic collection. Um, so before I took delivery of the car, before the car was delivered to me, I instructed that the oil was changed, engine oil. So to be honest, I didn't care so much about the condition of the engine. The only thing I did was I asked, oh, I hope he wasn't smoking. They said no smoke. I said, okay, fine. So I instructed that the person that delivered the car change the oil, use 20W50, change it oil so that at least to get the car to my location where I am. It was going to be a full day journey on highway. So it would be a bad idea to do that journey not knowing how long the oil in the engine has been before I made the purchase. It's possible the oil was very bad, which the person confirmed when he changed the oil from what he said was bad. I'd asked him, you know what, put the old oil you drained out into the oil can and put it in the boot while you're in the journey. You never know. You might you might need it, that kind of thing. So so when they came, I saw the oil was that bad. It wasn't even up to 4 liters. It was bad. It was supposed to be 4 liters, but man, what he said came out was, I don't know, was it 2 point something liters or 3 liters? Anyway, so eventually with 20W50, the engine got here, and it wasn't really smoking. I wasn't seeing blue smoke. I was because my intention was, as soon as it comes, I will likely remove the engine and put a brand new. I have a brand new engine. Okay, I would say the engine has done about 600 kilometers. Brand new engine, so that's why I still refer it as a new engine. So it's not even yet fully broken in. So, but I'm not sure I've done up to 1,000 kilometers on that engine, but let's leave it at that. So that was my intention. So when it came, I was like, okay, the sound not bad, no smoking. I was okay, maybe I don't need to change this engine. Let me keep using it and see what happens, But I now noticed, okay, even though the oil gauge wasn't dropping on the dipstick, oil level, I mean, not dropping, but I noticed the cylinder 4 was always wet. If I was always misfiring every once in a while, if I remove the spark plug, it would be wet with oil, not like dropping oil, dripping at all, but it'd be wet, and I know it's oil. So I will clean it, put it back on chain, put another spark plug, drive the car. By the next day, the misfire will come again, and you see that it's from that same cylinder. So and I will check the other cylinder 1 to 3. The spark plugs will be dry and showing sign of good combustion going on there. So, but for some reasons on that cylinder 4, even when I remove it, clean it, put it there, start the vehicle, the misfire will go away, remove the spark plug, it will still show sign that it wasn't even working. There's no sign that spark plug was producing any spark. But yeah, the misfire will not be there. But what I now notice is power will be very low. When you're driving off, you're climbing hill, it will be like, wow, as if something is pushing your car backward. So I now decided, you know what? Let me do something. And what it is to remove the cylinder head. Let me start from there, because number 2, they put the stack head gasket. Stacking head gasket means using more than one head gasket. So they put 2 head gaskets there. So I was like, it could be the reason why the engine didn't have much power, or could be causing this spark plug not to work, because there was nothing we didn't do. I even myself checked the tappet, reset the valve. Still, that cylinder refused to work. So I was like, no, at least let's remove the cylinder head. So we removed it, check the, clearance on the piston, and almost all the, though I will admit, the cylinder 4, the first cylinder that was actually always wet, was down. It was on the bottom dam center where we removed the cylinder head. But I looked at the piston, no, the piston liners or the sleeve on the top dead center side, where the upper part, it was almost same. There was no gap, same distance, same shape, everything. There was no clearance, nothing. I checked the other cylinders as well. They are also tight and everything. So I was like, okay, where is this oil dripping out from? Because remember, my intention was just to change the head gasket and put only one, in case maybe there's a leakage from the head gasket which is making the cylinder 4 not to work. So I was up there. Okay, I was like, you know what? We won't stop us changing, put only the gasket. Let's go and change the valve stem cells. Since the rings, pistons, sleeves appeared okay. Of course, by checking it doesn't mean that's the accurate way to measure to be sure that their rings are okay. But at least they appeared okay. So we decided to change the valve stem cells, which we did. The only thing I cannot tell you, the brand I know that is very good, I tried, I couldn't find it at that time. So someone suggested another brand that he believes, even though there are quite a lot of fake in the market, but that one was the genuine one. There's no stock, blah blah blah. It's okay, fine, whatever it is. It's better than putting the cylinder head back without doing something on it aside the head gasket. So I bought that one, changed it, mounted it with only one head gasket. So yeah, I would say quite a lot of improvement. The misfire number 1 went away. That engine power issue went away. Now, before, if I'm climbing any small hill, before I know it, I'll downshift all the way from 5 to 3. If I could finish climbing the hill, it was that bad, no matter how small the hill is. So, because just cylinder 4 wasn't working, even though it might not be misfiring, but I knew for a fact it was not working, because if you remove it, you see that there's no sign of spark there. So for some reason, I will be wondering how come it's not even, there's no sign of spark yet. The cylinder is not misfiring. But give it 1 day drive. By the second day, the misfire will come back. So all those issues went away. The power came back. I started to experience power for the first time I got the car. But something now happens. I needed to remove it's a long story anyway, but I removed the intake manifold to go and retrade it where I was supposed to put a carburetor, which got one. So removing the intake manifold now gave me access to see the intake valves from the hose where the intake manifold is being mounted on. That cylinder 1, the oil I saw there was like the entire piston was filled with oil. It was as if the entire piston was filled up with oil. I was like, what's going on? Now I check the other cylinders. Remember the other cylinder 3 to 1, they were almost all the time dry before I did that cylinder head gasket job. Because of course, when they changed the valves, it was grinded. The cylinder head was grinded. That's technical term. That's what they call it. No. So change the valve. So this time, the cylinder 4 was as if I poured oil. I removed it. It was as if I removed the intake manifold. I poured like a cup of oil there. It was wet. Not like the oil was filled up, but the entire place was filled. It was wet with oil from that hole up to. I was seeing the piston because the valve was open. That cylinder 4 valve was open at that time. So I could see up the piston, that I was seeing the piston, the top of the piston through that hole. Unlike before, I was like, how did it get this worse? Something that was not like this before. I put the head, change the head gasket, change the valve, grounded the cylinder head, did like 100-kilometer drive. Was it up to 200? I'm not sure it was up to 200-kilometer drive. So I now decided to change the was it even, I don't know. So to do that job on the intake manifold, only for the tires to fill up with oil. Yeah, the car did about 900 kilometers. Everywhere was dry. Now it's filled with oil, just 100 kilometers after changing the air gasket and the rest. So I now look at the remaining 3 holes. They were now wet. Remember before, like I said, dry before, but now wet. But not as wet like the cylinder 4. But now you could see they were no longer dry. I was like, wow, something went wrong here. You know, this type of thing, I was like, at least the misfire is not there, the power is there. You know, later, maybe I put the valve stem cells I used was bad. So even increased the consumption. But it kept showing that that's in that 4. There is still an issue there, no matter what, because it increased instead of reducing. So after I put back the testing, drove the car for like another 50 kilometers or so. Can't remember. Guess what? Within a short, maybe within 200 kilometers of drive, after I put that cylinder gasket, the oil level dropped to below minimum on the dipstick. From almost maximum gauge, maximum level on the dipstick, dropped below minimum. I was like, wow, this was a car that was driven, like I said, it did almost 900 kilometers, came down, the oil level remained almost the same. Well, a little bit under the maximum, because I didn't know how the person topped it before he left. But I could see, because he bought a 5-liter 20W50, which was total. So by the time he came, he still had like a liter or half a liter in the car. I think close to a liter of oil remaining. New oil, so meaning that he didn't top up and did like close to 700 to 800 kilometers. Straight journey till he got to Abuja. Oil level remained almost same. Yet I just did about 100 to 200 kilometers. All immediately from up top there, bam, down, below minimum. So now if I accelerate it hard now, I can see blue smoke. Not that hard, but I cannot see. So I know it's taking too long, but the reason why I took my time to describe the story for know that this is personal experience, not what I read, not what I want you to follow, so you understand the context where I'm coming from. It's possible that the valve stem cells I put is even worse than the one I removed. Maybe I created a problem that wasn't existing. But I know the problem was because at least that cylinder 4 didn't get better, it got worse. So it's possible that the issue is actually valve. Maybe that valve have won. So the valve stem cells can no longer, the one he put was even worse. So he made it. It's also possible because and I did a valve cylinder head job. Maybe the rings were a little bit weak. So it now weakened the valves, the rings more. For whatever reason, I do not know. But remember, it's always, I remember in the back of days of 504, 505, there has always been a common knowledge that if any side of part of your engine, remember engine is divided into 2. The upper part, which is from the cylinder head upward, the lower part, which is your engine block, where your pistons, rings, crankshaft are located. So if any part is weak and you go and fix the other one, it will overwork the other, then it kill it. So you are always better off fixing both, so that one doesn't run better than the other. So that could also be the cause. the truth is this. As far as I'm concerned, no, I'm not. Yes, I've decided I'm going to remove the cylinder head again. Maybe like, and this time around, focus on the valves. I wasn't there when I didn't know who did it, and it was the mechanic I worked with that took it to someone. So this time I'll have to look at, okay, what's actually the condition of these valves, and they're also going to use a different valve stem cells, like as if I know I would have left the old one there without removing it, because at least. But now I think I'm removing the piston and sleeve, which my piston and sleeve might still be okay, but you see those wings, looking at, I might have to change them, including, in fact, even the piston and sleeve. It all depends. My point is, I'm likely going to do full engine rebuild. There might not be need to start. Well, it depends on the condition of the crankshaft. I might have to change it, depending on. So here's what I'm saying. I took the risk, this type of thing, because I know I have a better option. There's a new engine waiting for me to to drop in. But I was like, come on, this engine is not dead, so why throw it away? Why get rid of it? Why not keep that new one as spare? I keep using this one, even if so what I decide now, why not just rebuild it? It won't cost me as much as the new engine I assembled. So all I need is just to build this. Maybe it could be the entire piston and sleeve rings, but I'm not sure I got into that stage, because you could tell from the sign, once your piston rings, especially cylinder wall, you always tell you the condition of your cylinders. But then I will still remove it. Like I said, I don't care if there's any sign the pistons are weak or whatever. They are gone. I won't even look at them or manage anything. Change it. Luckily for us, those of us that have 505, 504, new piston and sleeve, they are available. New crankshaft, they are new engine block, they are available. So as I was saying, will it cost me money? Yes. But will I gain something from me? It's much better than driving a new Tokumbo engine. At least it might not last maybe like Tokumbo engine, but you drive like a new engine. Trust me, the new engine is different from a used engine. When you drive it, you understand. So let it be a lesson. If you're opening your cylinder head to fix something, you need to be sure the condition of your pistons, your cylinder wall, your rings. The newer engines now, I don't necessarily think they behave that way, but it's possible. Everybody have their own experiences to share, or stories to tell. I'm just sharing mine as a technician, even though I know these things. But like I said, I was like, who cares? I mean, remember, my priority there was the misfire to stop, for the cylinder fault to start working. So, and to do that, I need to change the head gasket. Maybe there's a leakage on that gasket, which is making the cylinder fault not to work. And which I succeeded, which most likely could be the gasket that was causing it. Because as soon as I put single head gasket, the issue went away. It might not be. It might be the valve sensor was the cause. So when I removed it, it stopped. But the problem is it made the oil consumption worse. You see where I'm coming from. So what caused it now could still be the valve sensor. Because here is my logic, using my technical eye when I remove the intake manifold. If the piston was weak, the rings, I'm referring to that cylinder 4 now. Remember I told you it was as if I poured close to half a cup of oil inside it when I removed the cylinder head. No, intake manifold, and peeped through the hole. If it was weak, shouldn't oil, even though as the piston is running, going up and down, BDC, TDC, yeah, oil will be coming up, but it shouldn't be that weight, to the point that oil will be, if you look as oil settled on the piston. I don't know if you guys understand where I'm coming from. So it's not looked as if oil was actually dropping down. dropping from top, now settling on the piston. I don't just know, because it was even wet up to the point that it went beyond the piston. That's, I could see the piston, the valves. When you're able to see in that head valve, you'll be seeing the valves from behind it. Not on the, you won't see the surface, the side of the valve facing the piston. You only see the back of it. So how come that place was almost wet with oil, including inside? Because since the valve was now open, I could see the entire what's it called? The entire sleeve was wet. So it's also possible that one of the rings on that cylinder is broken. So it's just pushing out oil into that cylinder, spreading it everywhere. So my point now is, it's no more guesswork. Not now. Something I need to do first before my point is, I'm preparing it now. I'm going to rebuild that engine, dismantle it, pieces it. I already have somebody that I'll work with on that. The person is going to do that for me while I supervise. Now, some will say, "Oh, are you saying you don't know how to do this?" See, I'm not here to tell you I'm your God, I know everything. No, I know my strength. So I know what some other people, I can acknowledge, hey, I'm better at this. This person is better at this. I'll utilize his strength. That's how I work. So something I know you are very good at, you have the knowledge, or have a better understanding on this than myself. Why would I try to downgrade? I don't, how do I put it? I will exploit it. Cost me money, yeah, I can afford it. So I'm going to use that guy. He's very, what I'm talking about, these old guys, people. I'm talking of elderly men, that people that learned car repairs with 404, not just 505. I'm talking of 404 in the 70s. So that's what I want you to understand. Even though 504 was already around there, but mostly at that time, 504 was basically still new. So they didn't require those kind of tedious dismantling of engine. But 404 at that time started getting old. So those are the ones that started learning. Then to learn a work, you have to learn how to dismantle and put back engine together. Unlike modern mechanics now, that everybody, hey, remove the engine, put another one. Remove gearbox, put another one. Most of them, not majority, that's what they do. It's only few that can actually dismantle pieces engine, rebuild it. Not just rebuild, because you can open up engine, put it back, doesn't mean you do it well. So back then, I mean, these are some of the things that if you don't learn it, you're not going to attract any customer. Because at that time, nobody was changing engine. That's the difference. That time, I drove car at that time. Drove car in the 90s, early 90s. Everybody was rebuilding their engine. Nobody was rebuilding. Nobody was changing. So if you don't learn it, why will people come to you? Because they know that it was a normal. I don't know how to put that. We driving was like, is expected. It's just part of the thing. And it was very cheap to rebuild. So it wasn't something you would be like, oh, I'm sad, my engine is weak. No. Even though these engines are actually expected to have lasted much longer than we are doing, rebuilding almost every now and then. But it wasn't a big deal. Like I said, it was very cheap to rebuild, and almost most mechanics are very good at it. So if you can't be able to do that, hunger will kill you that time. So that's how I see. Luckily, we still have those access to such spares, and they are still available. And people that learned those things back then in the 70s. So I see about two persons, at least 2 or 3, that are very good. They can do that and pieces. So I'm going to give one of them to do that. So we'll see. But at least you learn from me. You could blame me. It could be, hey, you ought to have known better. I shouldn't have removed that. Like I told you, my intention wasn't about oil consumption. They wasn't consuming oil, but hey, I want this misfire to stop. Worst case, I'm throw the engine out, throw in another new one, put a new one instead this time. But that time I was like, I think what changed my mind was when I removed the cylinder head to put that only one, to fix to remove the two cylinder, the head gasket they put one, and I saw how untouched or good, let me use that word, good the piston and sleeves were when I removed them. I was like, because I was expecting to see sign of wear on them, that sort of thing. I was like, wow. I was like, okay, this engine, I may not be that bad. Maybe it's something I can keep using. The only thing I can tell you now is the condition of the crankshaft. It's possible the crankshaft has been, I don't know, maybe it's on its last leg. There's some noise I do hear sometimes. I hope this is not from the crankshaft. So to be honest, I don't know. I may end up changing the crankshaft. It's possible they've grinded it, reduce it to maybe 0.30. Who knows? Especially, is it not new model crankshaft? Those are useless crankshafts. If it was a GL crankshaft, I wouldn't have bothered. But this one they put in this. But who knows? Like I said, I might be wrong. One thing with engine is you don't know what it is. You don't really know what the condition of it until you dismantle it, open it up, you start seeing it. So it might still be in very good condition. So what I'm saying might be ignorant on my part until it's opened up. But I'm going to do that. This time it's not just to remove the piston. No, I want this crankshaft out. I want to see it. If it's good, fine. If it's not, then another one in. And when I talk about, I'm not talking about used one, brand new one in. That's what I'm going to do. You might say, but it's not, quality is not as good as, I don't care. If it serves me up to 5 years before it dies because it's not a high quality new one, I get another one and put. You see, if I go for those of us that drive it, we have different mindset. We don't drive it like modern cars where you want your engine to last till thy kingdom comes. So because you know what it costs to replace it. For us, nah, you dismantle everything, you put it brand new again. So honestly, trust me, if you drive 504, you understand. Once you get to handle of it, you enjoy driving one. Of course, it won't serve you like a new car where everything is softer, this and that, quicker, faster, this, that, No, I get that. But I'm talking about actual driving. That's what you enjoy. The low maintenance. When you drive a car and this doesn't stress you out in terms of maintenance, where you drive it once, the next week it stays 2 hours, 3 weeks in the workshop. You drive it another 1 week. The next one you spend. No, these are cars that. Well, okay, so I know the video is too long, but that is, is it a rant? Maybe to some. But some people who are technical ones probably must have learned something here or confirm something they've been hearing. Now they are confirming from my own experience or this story. So if you are not ready, my point is, if you are removing your cylinder head and you want to go and work on it, understand the risk involved, especially for engines like 504, 505. You might have to, I don't know, don't just change your valve stills like that. Maybe you might look at your valves, the valves themselves. If they are just assume that the person doing the person the valve seal will know better, know that when the valves are weak. No, because if I insisted, just that I have before, maybe not they blame the mechanic that took it there. I don't know. This is the first time he's giving it to somebody I do not know. So it's possible that it's somebody that only does modern cars. So he probably even didn't know how to inspect older valves. But it should be the same. So it's possible it's the valve. But at least if it's the valve, the misfire should be back. So for whatever reason, misfire was fixed. The spark plug started working, but it still wait. So I'm talking about cylinder 4. So in that case, I won't say it has anything to do with the piston or rings or sleeve. No, that misfire was from the upper side, which could be the head gasket, which might not be, could be the valve stem seals that was removed, which might not be, or could be the valve. I don't know. So, but next time we are opening it up, we are going to look at everything. Change the valves. New ones are available. The set, 8 of them. Change if possible. They are not even that expensive. Buy new. Remove the old ones if I have to. You know, so to make sure I lose everything, look at the cylinder head as well to be sure the issue is not from the cylinder head. If I have to change it, if possible, you know, whatever it is, we'll deal with it. So that if it's going back in, then at least I know I'll have some years to enjoy before I need to go back to that engine. Okay, so I don't expect to do a lot of replacement because I know the chain, timing chain is not making noise. I know when timing chain of these engines become weak, you can tell it will start becoming noisy. Or maybe when the tensioner has almost worn out, you can tell the engine become, from that timing chain side, you can tell some there will be here noise there. Yeah, come on, I've used these cars before, so I know. So I know I won't be changing the oil. I've tested the oil pressure manually. Of course, it might not be accurate, but those of us that experience with referral, you know how to test it. I tested it on the cylinder head. There's this something that supplies oil from the up to down. You know, it boom, 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 boom. It pump oil. Those small loose, boom, boom. The way it pump oil. So the oil pump is intact. I probably might not need to touch it. Who knows? Maybe I might. But you know what? Out. So my point is, these are not. It doesn't make any cranking or grinding sounds. Nothing. So but right now, what I'm dealing with now is oil burn. So this is what I will now try to solve next time as soon as possible, and then look at every other thing just to make sure they are in a better condition. If not, they will be removed, replaced before put back the engine, and you know, see how many more hundreds of thousand kilometers or years I will derive from the car. Who knows? You know, people always be asking me, this your car? I said, if I will ever sell any of my classic car, it probably will be this one, the ST that I will sell. Obviously not the V6, because it's not easily available as such the ones in such condition, but I'm not, you know, clean, but it's still possible. Compared to the V6 that once it leaves you, man, just close that chapter. Forget it. So no, the V6 is there. It's basically family car. That's enter the family. It's there to stay. My point is my surname. It stays there until probably, I don't know. Let me not say, you know, go before my time to say what I don't know. I'm saying it has come to stay. The ST, who knows? I may walk on there and see one that is even cleaner than mine or something. I was like, you know, maybe I can let go of this, grab this one and restore it. Because these days, this kind of car, you have to, when you buy, expect you do some restoration, depending on your taste anyway. Alright, so like this video, subscribe to the channel, watch out for more videos.